Now, let's talk about the key catalysts for successful implementation of diversity and inclusion. Now, we could talk about technology that is used to identify problems and measure the progress of diversity and inclusion. Analytics can now help identify patterns of gender and racial bias and disparities in compensation and rewards. And it could also help uncover bias in hiring and promotion. There are tools that take resumes and they aggregate them anonymously, and they could help train managers to remove bias, and of course this would promote diversity and inclusion. Now, what I do want to add is that predictive analytics, by definition, looks at historical data points to make future predictions. So think about the implications of that. That means that some bias will be baked into the algorithm. Again, I'll lay out the case. Big data looks at historical data. So if you have historical biases, there is the risk that these historical biases will be quote-unquote baked in the algorithm when you look at predictive analytics. So I mention that as a note of caution to say that big data and data analytics is not a panacea that will totally eradicate bias. It is one tool, but because it relies on historical data, because historical data does have patterns of bias baked in, that this tool should be used with that note of caution. Now, let's consider diversity and inclusion as part of a corporate infrastructure. We have compliance, we have IT, we have security. So now we want to move beyond HR, because diversity and inclusion must be practiced by everyone and owned by all line leaders. So diversity and inclusion is a business responsibility and not simply relegated to a siloed HR responsibilities. Now, geographic diversity is increasingly important as many organizations become global. How often are we working with virtual teams across several continents? So the specific challenges for diversity and inclusion will likely vary from region to region and employees to employee, because we will have different interests, different concerns as we move to different parts of the world. But again, because most value now is created horizontally, because the old command and control structure of vertical hierarchical organizations is now ceding to more flat organizations where value is created horizontally, well, we find teams working more and more across the enterprise. So again, we want to be mindful that we have diversity in many different areas, and now we're talking about diversity in organizations in different regions of the world.
Technical skills are necessary to empower our careers, but do you need to improve or upgrade your leadership skills as well in order to accelerate your career? Along with your technical abilities, develop the skills you need to manage yourself, others, and business better. Welcome to Starter Learning, a collaborative knowledge platform bringing the world's best business and leadership insights from Fortune 1000 leaders, best-selling authors, and Ivy League professors. Further, if you are interested in learning from the top American leaders, please log on to the e-learning platform at starterlearning.com and avail the special promotion meant for first-time users. Use your coupon code STARTER10 and begin your leadership journey now.